She's a news reporter and anchor of Omaha's #1 news station, KETV. Please give a warm Omaha welcome to tonight's Master of Ceremony, Miss Alexandra Stone. Yes.
All right, good evening, everybody. How are you all doing? Having a good night? I am so honored to be your host for the 7th Annual Jet Award Gala event this evening. Tonight is very special. We have the University of Nebraska head coach Scott Frost as our keynote speaker, in case you didn't know. Billy White Shoes Johnson is the 2018 Legacy winner, and of course Washington Huskies Dante Pettis as our Jet Award winner. Now Johnny Rodgers calls Dante the baddest man on the planet. Now Johnny, is that because he's beaten a few of your records, perhaps? So it was just 7.5 years ago, 3 guys, Johnny Rodgers, Coach William Reed, and Denny Drake, decided they were going to start a National College Football Award program for kickoff and punt return guys, the return specialists, the daredevils of college football. I guess we could call them dreamers, to think they were going to start a program like this from right here in Omaha. So here's a video of where it all began, and KETV was there to cover it.
The new college football award, brainchild of Johnny Rodgers, and it will go to the best return man in the country. They're also going to go back in time to 1959 to give out the award each year to the best return man. So let's say 1971 or 72. Who do you think is going to win that award?
Rodgers takes the ball at the 30. He's hit and got away. Back upfield to the 35, to the 40. He's to the 45. He's to the 50, to the 45, to the 40, to the 35, to the 20, to the 10. He's all the way home. Holy moly. Man, woman, and child did that. Put him in the aisle. Johnny the Jet Rodgers just tore them loose with their shoes.
The Johnny the Jet Rodgers Return Specialist Award, taken from that magical return in the game of the century back in 1971. Rodgers will pick the first winner of the award this Thursday. The trophy will be presented at a banquet April 12th, and all proceeds will go to the Johnny Rodgers Youth Foundations.
Okay, so in April of 2012, they held their first award ceremony at Anthony's Steakhouse, and a few other dreamers showed up that night. 350 people in total, with Coach Tom Osborne as the keynote speaker, and Omaha business leader Mike Yanni came to see what it was all about. Right after that event, Mike Yanni called Johnny Rodgers and said, "Johnny, you've got one heck of an idea here, and I want to get involved." After a few months, Mike called Johnny and said he wanted to meet with the Jet Award team and Randy Schmazel, the president of Metropolitan Community College, to talk about an idea he had. The idea to create a scholarship program for underprivileged kids and tie it to the fundraising efforts of the Jet Award. Since Johnny attended Omaha's technical high school, he knew he wanted to first and foremost create this scholarship around the trades. Based on just a handshake that day, the Johnny Rodgers Career and Technical Scholarship at the Metropolitan Community College Foundation was born. It became official and was announced at the 2013 Jet Award Gala event. So you'll hear more about the scholarship in just a few minutes, but tonight's big news, thanks to the great people in this room tonight, net proceeds have reached $100,000. Let's give a round of applause for that. And get this, Metropolitan Community College is going to match that dollar for dollar, providing $200,000 in scholarships. Another round of applause. It's absolutely incredible. So that means 50 kids will get scholarships. The dream is becoming real. So let's give another big round of applause for all of the dreamers in this room, the people making this possible tonight. As I mentioned, tonight is a very special night, and now you're about to see and hear a very special song performed by Omaha's own internationally celebrated vocalist, Carol Rodgers, and from the Omaha Academy of Ballet and Interpretive Dance by Phoebe Perry, dream the impossible dream.
To fight the unbeatable foe, to bear with unbearable sorrow, to run where the brave dare not go. Oh, the unrightable wrong, and to love pure and chaste from afar. Oh, to try when your arms are too weary to reach the unreachable star. This is my quest, to follow that star, no matter how hopeless and no matter how far, to fight for the right without question or pause, to be willing to march into heaven for a heavenly cause. And I know if I only get true to this glorious quest, that my heart will life peacefully home when I'm laid to my rest. Oh, the world will be better for this. That one man, scorned and covered with scars, still strove with his last ounce of courage, oh, to reach the unreachable star, the unreachable star. 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 The
performance. Let's give them a standing ovation, folks. Let's stand up for these beautiful ladies. Next, we have a short video followed by our first guest speaker of the evening, Kathy J. Trotter, the scholarship chairperson. Please roll the video.
In 2013, Johnny Rodgers established the Johnny Rodgers Career and Technical Education Scholarship at the Metropolitan Community College Foundation. Since then, the proceeds from the annual JET Award Gala are committed to funding scholarships for students pursuing a degree in the career or technical trades at Metropolitan Community College. Please welcome Kathy J. Trotter, chairperson for the Johnny Rodgers Career and Technical Education Scholarship.
Now, I want to tell you just a little bit about Kathy as she's
In 2013,
Kathy J. Trotter is a proud parent of one child, and I understand she's got thousands of kids that see her as a mother. Kathy knows this scholarship can set off a chain reaction that could eventually fund, in many cases, the entire college tuition of a student seeking a career in the technical trades at Metropolitan Community College. So, again, let's welcome Kathy J. Trotter to the stage tonight.
Good evening. Johnny and I go back a long way. Growing up in the North Omaha community and high school classmates at Omaha Tech High School, back then he tried to tell me what to do, and now he still tries to tell me what to do. Our high school provided vocational education until Metropolitan Community College was established in 1974. The idea of the JET Award Gala supporting scholarships for career and technical education was an idea in 2013 that brings our rich history of community and education full circle. It also, like tonight, is a celebration of legends and returns. The scholarship started small, and the first scholarship was awarded in 2016, with 5 more in 2017. In the fall of 2018, we're targeted to give over 25 scholarships thanks to the generous support of you who attend the JET Award Gala each year. Give yourself a big hand. As a lifelong educator, I see the impact these scholarships have on the lives of our students. Johnny is fulfilling a dream of his this evening by awarding scholarships to students. This scholarship may be used for tuition, fees, books at Metropolitan Community College. Special thanks to Metropolitan Community College Foundation for their assistance with the scholarship proceeds. Also, thanks to each one of you for being here this evening, and thank you for your ongoing support. At this time, I would like to introduce to some and present to others Johnny the Jet Rodgers. Here's Johnny!
Thank you. I can't tell you how proud I am to be from Omaha, Nebraska. They say against the current. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for stepping up. Thank you, Kathy. I'd like to thank Omaha for creating an opportunity for our youth to get a world-class education at a world-class community college. When I talk to our youth today, I talk to them, I ask them, I said, well, how would you like to study your craft, go on for a couple years and get an associate's degree, 9 months, 2 years, and possibly have an opportunity in just a couple years to start off earning from $45,000 to possibly $80,000 in the beginning, and have your insurance and all your deals covered. How does that sound to you? It sounds pretty darn good to me. How does it sound to you? This all happens because of a guy named Randy Smazel. Randy, as they've told you, has committed to matching whatever monies we bring in. I mean, he's told me he will match from any mount to Rocky Mount. So it's our responsibility to kind of keep on going on and to doing what we can as far as our community is concerned. And I really am proud because we really couldn't do this without our community, the participation and the giving that you guys actually give out here. And I really appreciate the support that I've gotten all throughout the time that we've been doing this for the last 7 years. I'd also like to say thank you and a shout out to a guy who's been my mentor for a lifetime, Coach Tom Osborne. Coach, I just like to say thank you because, you know, you and I go way back to the time where we're running stairs together, running laps together. Coach had me out there every single day throwing me what we call turnarounds and horseshoes. But it got me to the point that, you know, I was a little bit better than average. It's really helped me tremendously. And he's been my mentor. He's been my mentor and my coach initially, and then later on my mentor. And I tell you, it really makes a difference when you have a mentor that you don't do like they say, you do like you see them doing. And I've been able to follow in Coach's footsteps and try to develop our community like he's developed Teammates program. We want to have a mentoring program through the 100s that will actually take these kids from the point of getting a scholarship right on through the scholarship to completion and then on to actually getting a job. And that's what the 100s are going to do right now. I'd like to also bring up a guy next, is Richard Webb. Richard Webb is the new Chief Executive Officer of the 100 Black Men, who's going to take on the responsibilities that we have of making sure that those kids get those degrees, to get those jobs, so we can raise the quality of life in Omaha to a whole new level. And Richard is a product of the 100. Richard started off himself as a mentee. He went to a mentor, and now he's our Chief Executive Officer. And what we would like to ask you to do is that we need mentors, and everybody is a mentor. Everybody can be a mentor. So when we start the program going on, we want to develop this for the 100 Black men here of Nebraska and Omaha, and we all want to elaborate it and transfer it on, and possibly to get teammates involved so we can collaborate, teammates in association with what we do, because teamwork makes your dreams work. You don't do anything really by yourself. Anything but you can do by yourself just isn't big enough. I'd like to bring up Richard Webb now, our Chief Executive Officer for the 100 Black Men, Nebraska. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you, Johnny, for the warm welcome. As Johnny stated, I'm the new Executive Director for the 100 Black Men of Omaha, starting in September of 2017. And whenever I took over this position, I had a passion. And when we got together with a couple of other strategic partnerships, we developed these scholarships to make sure that we can take the youth that we are mentoring from their youth age, not only knocking down barriers that present in front of themselves to get them the degree, but then to also connect them with jobs. That's what we wanted to do, and I'm happy to say we formed these strategic partnerships to make sure that these mentees are getting successful associate's degrees or certifications, and then getting a successful career outside of not just that associate's degree or certification, and becoming successful citizens of Omaha, Nebraska. Not leaving out, but staying here, making a good living, making better choices in our communities, and making sure that they see mentors in front of them that are successful, so they can have that light to follow and guide to make sure that they are becoming their best and reaching their fullest potential. So I thank you for all of the support. I thank you to our strategic partners, and I thank you for what we're going to do. And from 5 years from now, we're going to say, man, we have 1,000 mentees that have went through this pipeline, that we've been able and fortunate enough to raise funds to get these scholarships that go directly to Metro Community College and get these trades and are successful in our community. So thank you for all the support, and thank you for attending this evening.
All right, everyone, let's give them another big round of applause tonight. Kathy J. Trotter, Johnny Rodgers, and Richard Webb. Okay, so we are limited to about 1 hour for the entire award ceremony, but the accomplishments and accolades of our keynote speaker, Scott Frost, could take well over 2 hours, so please excuse me if we've left anything out. But here's a quick thumbnail sketch for you. Scott Frost left Nebraska as the first quarterback in school history to rush for more than 1,000 yards and pass for more than 1,000 yards in the same season. Scott became the 10th player in NCAA history to accomplish the feat in 1997 as he helped the high-octane Husker attack to the national title. Scott was drafted in the 3rd round of the 1998 NFL Draft by the New York Jets and went on to play 6 seasons in the NFL with the Jets, Cleveland Browns, Green Bay Packers, and Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Scott's coaching career began in 2002 in Nebraska. He moved on to Kansas State in 2006, Oregon from 2009 to 2015, then on to Central Florida in 2016 and 2017. In 2017 alone, Scott was named Coach of the Year by 8 different organizations, including the prestigious Eddie Robinson Coach of the Year. Scott's rapid rise up the coaching ranks culminated with the former Husker returning to his alma mater as Scott was announced Nebraska's head coach on December 2nd, 2017. Now let's take a look at this video and a few highlights.
Our keynote speaker, the University of Nebraska's head coach, Scott Frost.
It gives me a great deal of pleasure at this time to introduce the 30th head football coach at the University of Nebraska, Scott Frost.
Thank you, Bill. It's an honor for me to be here. I can't tell you how special this is for a kid that grew up in Nebraska, basically grew up on this campus when Mom was a track and field coach here, and I was running around getting in trouble and getting run over on the Devaney Center track. From there to playing here, to be in other places coaching for as long as I have, to get an opportunity to come back here is special to me. Words can't describe how much it means to me to be back here in a place that I love, a place that I understand, a place that I want to represent.
Jackson, the tight end, on the left side of the formation. Here's the option right side by Scott Frost. Cuts it back in. Dives into the end zone. Touchdown, Scott Frost. When you're singled out. Well, it filters through. So lay down. Nothing is real when his side goes red again. See right.
All right, folks, without further ado, let's welcome tonight's keynote speaker, University of Nebraska's head coach, Scott Frost.
Thank you. That was uncalled for and probably a mistake because you guys don't realize it, but you actually made Mike Yanni have to stand up. I'm a little worried about him. It's great to be here. You guys have the privilege and honor of being in a room. I don't know if you'll ever be in another room with as many guys that used to be fast as that are here today. Just touching on them all, talk about the nicknames in this room are just fabulous. Billy White Shoes Johnson, I grew up hearing about that and watching that. I can only guess where he got that nickname. I can only guess where Johnny got his nickname too, the Jet. My first guess is gonna be that Johnny gave Johnny his nickname. Johnny is a great guy, an ambassador for the state. Unbelievable human being. In fact, he's such a good guy that I think he might be in line to be the next pope, which would be great because then the only thing he'd ask us to kiss is his ring. Matt Davison's here. He used to be kind of fast. I got to set the record straight about Matt and my relationship. There's widely reported that Matt and I are close friends, and that's kind of true, but the truth is I haven't hardly spoken to him in about 8 years because I didn't want to interrupt him, so. Former fast guy Eric Crouch is here in the audience somewhere, and if you need any playground equipment, he'd be happy to help you. I saw Mike Rozier here somewhere. Where's Mike? There he is. Little known fact about Mike. Mike was able to make straight A's all through college, but his B's were a little crooked and his C's were a little off. It's great to be here. Two of my mentors and dearest friends are here. Mike Yanni, who I mentioned, and Coach Osborne. Kind of echo what Johnny said. Tom's been a mentor to thousands of people in this state and hundreds of football players that have played for him. We all look up to him. We'll never be able to match what he's accomplished and match the type of character that he has, but we try. It's sad to see Tom getting so old, really. He's kind of that age where his back goes out more than he does. And in fact, the other day he came down to the office. He's been down at the office a lot, which makes me happy, but he had to get his back checked out, so we took him down to the training room, and Mark Meyer, our young trainer, put him in an MRI machine. And the thing was beeping and going nuts, and I think he fell asleep. I'm not sure. About an hour later, they pulled him out of the MRI machine, and it was Jerry Weber, our kind of old trainer, and he kind of looked at Jerry funny and thought it was Mark and said, "Man, how long have I been in there?" Tom's meant a lot to me. Mike's meant a lot to me. It's an honor for me to be here. More than anything, it's an honor for me to be back in Nebraska. I'm a Nebraska kid. Learned to love this state, love what it stands for, love the people of this state. I tell people and I tell recruits all the time that Nebraska's biggest asset is its people. You people sitting here today are special. Nebraska's the kind of place where people help someone else out, that'll go out of their way to be there for somebody else, that'll work morning till night to get a job done. Coach Osborne's football team used to reflect those type of things, and I'm really hopeful that in the near future, ours will be able to represent the same type of things. Telling a story about Coach Osborne, sometimes he can be a little boring. You guys know that, right? But kind of getting to the point of the award, Coach Osborne had the same message for us every single game we played. We stayed at a place called the Nebraska Center on campus the night before games. It was a bad dormitory, but it was a great place to go stay with your team and focus on the job at hand the next day. Every single morning on Saturday morning when we got up and we were getting ready to go to Memorial Stadium, Coach Osborne would talk to the entire team. And it was always the same message. It was three things. You know, he kind of closed one eye and talked real soft and said, "Fellas, if we
we're more physical than the other team, and if we take care of the football and win the turnover battle, and if we're better on special teams, then I think we'll win the game. And everybody kind of shouted. I woke up. And then we went and played and usually won the game. But what he said rings true, and I've used that message with my team. If you're more physical than the other team, you're going to win. If you take care of the ball, you're going to win. And the third part of that people overlook is if you play well on special teams, you're going to win. I was part of a team this past year that got to a championship game because we had a kid return a kickoff for a touchdown. Special teams make up almost a quarter of every football game. And I talk to my guys all the time about this. It doesn't matter what your role is, be great at that role. One guy might be the kicker, one guy might be the R2 on kickoff, one guy might be holding up the gunner on punt return, one guy might be the gunner on punt. Whatever it is, be great at it. And I think that's a good lesson for all of us. I really learned that lesson from Coach too, telling you guys some stories. As I was looking at head coaching jobs, before I left to go to UCF, I would call Coach Osborne and ask him what he thought. And after I told him about one of them, he didn't really say much, and he just said to me over the phone, "Scott, bloom where you've been planted." And I took that to heart, because I took that to mean wherever I am, whatever role I've been given, whatever I'm asked to do, bloom at that role and be the best that I can at it. And I've tried to live by that for about 8 years since Coach Osborne told me that. Special teams are vital. You can't just be good on offense, you can't just be good on defense, you got to be good on special teams. I was at the University of Oregon for 7 years, never lost to UW. But since then, UW's gotten the best of them, and a lot of it has to do with what Coach has done there, Coach Peterson. A lot of it has to do with the young man that's going to be honored here tonight, and I've enjoyed watching him. He probably may or may not know this, but his position coach in college is a dear friend of mine that worked with me at Oregon, Matt Lubick. So I've kind of watched him and followed him and rooted for him. It's been special to watching him in the Pac-12, watching him in the college football playoff. Punt returners, kick returners, and special teams can change games. And it's great that there's finally an award named after the best that ever done it, right, Johnny? Second best. And it's great that we're honoring such a great player tonight. I'm thrilled to be back in Nebraska. As a side, we're working hard, and just to reflect it back to Washington again, hope everybody understands that we're doing the best we can. We're going to get better little by little, day by day. That's kind of what happened at Washington. After getting beat up by the Ducks for a few years, Coach Peterson got there and gradually made the program better. And now they're winning the Pac-12 North. A few years after he got there, the program looks like he wants it to look. And Dante was a part of that. That's where we're trying to get our program. It's not going to happen overnight, but we're working hard to get it there. Had practice this morning, looking forward to the spring game, and can't tell you how grateful I am for everybody in Nebraska's support for our program and our players. So congratulations. Thanks, Johnny, for having me. Thanks, Mike, for putting this on. Go Big Red.
A big thank you to Scott. It really is great to have you back home here in Nebraska. Now to talk about the Legacy Award, and this year's Legacy Award winner, Billy White Shoes Johnson, is Coach William Reed and 12-year NFL veteran Greg Pruitt. Last year's Legacy winner, Rick Upchurch, will present the trophy.
Thank you. Greg Pruitt's out there somewhere. There he is right there. Come on up, Greg. Okay. This award is special enough, and the person who's receiving it is big enough with his attributes that it takes 3 of us to give it to him. So each year I am blessed to stand beside this great 12-year veteran of the National Football League, Greg Pruitt, and honor that person who is, we call the Legacy Award winner. Just a couple of words about that. In our society, people live and they die. That's a fact. But there's certain ones of us that leave behind that thing called legacy. When you go away and you can leave and say that you left a legacy, then it means that you've done something more in life than we think about. And so we are going to honor tonight a young man who certainly have left a legacy. And we have an award that's named just for him and people like him. And that award is the Legacy Award. And here to give you the reasons why he won it is my great friend, Greg Pruitt. Thank you.
Thank you. It's always an honor to be back in Nebraska. Johnny and I have been friends since we were juniors in college, and when this award first started and I found out what it was about, I asked Johnny to make sure I was a part of it, and he did. The trophy you see up here, for those of you who have not seen it, most people know that the big guy is Johnny. But the little guy, which is me, and I've been trying to figure out, being in Nebraska, you grow corn. You know, if you water it, it'll grow. But I didn't know bronze grew. I mean, every year I keep getting smaller and Johnny keeps getting bigger. But, you know, it's for a great cause, and I want to continue to support him. I have the distinct pleasure of introducing, along with Rick Upchurch, Billy White Shoes Johnson. And when you read his stats, you think it takes 3 guys because he's a real big guy. He just wears very big shoes, and we're going to watch some highlights, and we watched them last night, and the first thing that I noticed is a lot of that runs was against the Cleveland Browns. And I played with the Cleveland Browns and played, the Houston Oilers was in our conference, so I played Billy twice a year. And he has, for those of you that don't know, and hopefully it's on the film, he has a dance that he does after he scores. And I love watching that dance on TV. Unfortunately, I watched a lot of it from the visitor's sideline. But Billy has accomplished a lot of things. 6,000 yards as a punt returner, 8 returns for touchdowns, another 4,000 yards as a receiver, and an additional 25 touchdowns. He's a 3-time Pro Bowler and 3-time All-Pro. In '83, he had an injury that probably would have ended most people's career, but he came back, and not only did he come back, he was voted Comeback Player of the Year and made it to the Pro Bowl. So I think at this time, I would like to, also, he's a college Hall of Famer. And he was in the 1975 NFL, all NFL team. I think now we're gonna watch what I watch too often on Sundays.
Our 2018 legacy winner, Billy White Shoes Johnson.
On the left side, 2 seconds remain. 49ers will come with a 3-man rush. Bartkowski to throw. He is going long down the near sideline. It's going to be a jump ball, and it is pulled down by Billy Johnson. Johnson inside the 10, 5. He is down. He is. Give it to him. He's in. Touchdown. Touchdown, Atlanta. Billy Johnson. It's a touchdown. No time on the clock. The Falcons have won it. They pulled it from nowhere. The Falcons have won it. Big Ben left, and it worked.
Full moon over Atlanta, Fulton County Stadium, and Shoes did his thing.
Billy White Shoes Johnson, a touchdown.
His quick score potential kept defenses wobbling from his rubber legs routine.
The theory was if he run it back on you, he was going to do the funky chicken and dance in the end zone.
Mr. Rick Upchurch. Another dangerous guy.
Not dangerous enough. Coach Osborne. How you doing, Coach? I'm still waiting to come to Nebraska. No doubt. It's an honor and a pleasure to be here. I was last year's recipient. And I'd just like to say, Johnny, thank you so very much in what you've done to get special teams players, especially us as kick returners, recognized for what we do. People, you got to realize and understand the game of football is 3 phases: offense, defense, and special teams. That other third of the game, a lot of folks, man, forget about it. But let me tell you something. It will dictate winning and losing. It's called field position. It's called big plays. It's called turning the momentum towards you. And then the rest of the team rides that momentum. So if they get away from kickoff returns and all of those type of things, they're going to be taking away some of the best moments of football that you can ever have. When you see Billy White Shoes Johnson run one back 98 yards or 100 yards. When you see Greg Pruitt take a kickoff 100 yards. Changes the momentum of the game. And that's what we do best. We might be small, folks. Let me give you some information. A 22 can kill a person if you hit them in the right place. And me, myself, Billy White Shoes, Johnny Rodgers, the Jet, and the rest of these guys, man, we were bullets. And we can make you pay. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. So I am so thankful, Johnny, that you made everybody recognize this and come into Omaha and doing this for the state of Nebraska, and the great ball player that you were at the University of Nebraska. Remember, I was at Indian Hills Community College watching you play, and I am so thankful, man, that you gave me, man, something to work with. And I thank you so very much, Johnny. God bless you, man.
And so, without further ado, the dance, the man, Billy White Shoes Johnson. Thank you.
I want all of you guys, thank you, please remain standing. Please remain standing as I unbutton my jacket. Scott, you can sit down. Hey, you're eating, I understand. But please stand up. But I'm going to tell you, and I want you to follow my instructions precisely. I want you to get in a good athletic position, those of you who can. Johnny, you're all right. But anyway, Anyway, I want you to put your left hand up, your right hand too. Now, I'm going to step out on the side, and you guys are going to emulate me. Here we go. I can do it here. It's okay. And start rocking your knees back side to side. You know, let me see now. Hey, I can see you out there. Can you do it? Now, can you do this? That's the last time I'll split, I promise. Anyway, imagine running 60, 80 yards doing that. You had to be excited about what you did. You can sit down, please. You can sit down now. I didn't like the way half you danced anyway. But no, but Johnny, thank you so much for bringing this to fruition. Special team returners have been overlooked many, many years. Since the inception of this award, I think it's going to get the notoriety that it should receive nationally. I hope you put on your board, continue to put on your board, those who are innovators, who are ingenious in making this a national award. Let me say this, guys. It's truly an honor for me to see specialists awarded, to see a young man like Dante Pettis, who I've been a great fan of his father, Gary Pettis, a baseball player, that to see him do what he does on the field and how he executes it. I've been pretty fortunate over my years to have guys block for me. Robert Brazil, Teddy Thompson, Greg Stemrick, C.L. Whittington. Just to get on that field with those guys was so exciting. Knowing, it's like Rick said, that you can change the game. Change the game for your good. Playing against guys like Rick Upchurch, Johnny Rodgers, Greg Pruitt. Man, they know how important that part of the game was. And plus, we all like the ball. For me, as an inside receiver, an outside receiver, you wanted every opportunity to touch the ball. Being a specialist made it happen. So again, Johnny, thank you so much. Thank you guys, Coach Reed, Rick, and Greg. I wish I was that tough on the field. I wasn't. But I really am honored and really elated about receiving this Legacy Award. The only thing about it is legacy means I'm getting old. That's all. That's all. But let me say this, Scott, congratulations to you. When you took the job, I know a lot of guys who played with you, coached with you, knew you, said that you were the one designed for that job. You can relate to the young men today, and that you will be the one to turn it around. So again, congratulations to you, and thank all of you for coming out and supporting the Jet Awards.
I want to say before we continue that we have become an official program, and I know we have some of our insurance agents that's with us tonight. We did not condone what Billy did on stage. We can't insure that. We know that we could lose a lot of money with Billy going down that way. So thank you very much. So anyway, it's about time for me to take a step back, but before I do, I would like to announce to the family, to the winners, that the Houston Astros won today, 9-2. All right, all right. And I'm saying that because the third base coach of the Houston Astros, the World Series champions, is the father of our winner. So Gary Pettis is that person. Now, we heard that there was a warning for him to be around, and Coach Reed went through some magic today, and he's supposed to be on the sideline with the Astros, but guess what? We've been hiding him in the back, and there he is right behind his son right now. So, Gary Pettis, welcome to Omaha, Nebraska, and welcome your son, who's been great on your behalf. So. Absolutely wonderful. Let me leave with this because everybody's been into it real good, and somebody's going to come up and honor our honoree. is that as Scott sits out there today, who's a young man that I've respected for a long time, here's all you have to do to really, if you want to check out a coach. Forget about looking at the coach. Look at his players. And that's all you need to know about what the caliber of the person is that you're getting. What I watched this year from Florida was the way this man commanded the attention and brought joy to the players that he brought on the field. That's enough for me, for a person to get a chance, even if it doesn't work out. Thank you, Scott. I think you're in the right place. Thank you. Right now, we should be open for business to get to the next level. So thank you very much.
Okay, folks, congratulations to Billy, and of course, thank you to Coach Reed, Greg, and Rick. Another round of applause for them this evening. Next up tonight, what we've all been waiting for, the highlight of tonight's gala, the 2017 Season Jet Award presentation. And to present this award, let's welcome our presenting sponsor, Vince Lisi, owner of Berkshire Hathaway Home Services in Omaha.
Good evening. Billy, where can I get a pair of those shoes? Because I'd wear those. I'm Vince Lisi. I'm the owner and president of Berkshire Hathaway Home Services and Ambassador Real Estate here in Omaha, Nebraska. I am honored to be the presenting sponsor. When Johnny called me, it was with great gratitude that I said, yes, this is very, very cool. I've known Johnny for a number of years, and I remember being at the first Jet Award not that many years ago and thinking, this is a great event, and it's so cool for the Omaha community to be part of something like this. And to see this grow like it's grown, Johnny, every year is just incredible. So thank you for the work that you're doing and bringing this fun, exciting event here to Omaha for us. But as cool as this event is, I think what's more special is what it's doing. As we heard earlier, 50 kids in this community are going to get the opportunity to get a scholarship to go and learn a trade at Metro Community College that gives them the opportunity to make a difference, to have a better life. And that's the really cool part, and what you and your team is doing. Continue to do it with that heart that you have to embrace this community. Thank you very much. And now for the fun part that we've all been waiting for all night, right? I am excited to announce this year's Jet Award winner. He is a soft-spoken young man with an elite set of skills and techniques that has propelled him into national prominence. How prominent? Well, this past season, he was listed as a consensus All-American. He led the nation in punt returns for touchdowns with 4. He finished his career with an NCAA record-breaking 9. But perhaps the thing that stands out the most about him is his discipline and his consistency. He's the only player that I know that has had a touchdown in the opening game of his sophomore, junior, and senior season. The Jet Award typically goes to the best return man in college football, but this year it goes to the best man. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Ambassador Real Estate, can we give a hand to this year's Jet Award winner, Dante Pettis.
Our 2017 Season Jet Award winner,
we're gonna play
Dante Pettis.
And it starts with Dante Pettis. This young man is dynamic in every phase. We know him at wide receiver, and the country's got to know him as a return man.
The corner 20, 25, 30, 35 to the near sideline, 40, has the sideline, and he's gone! Dante Pettis, an inferno in Boulder, touchdown for the freshman!
On a return, has a wall set up, got a block, still in bounds, Pettis
shocking them here at Boise State. Touchdown.
This punt, Dante Pettis will come back right up the middle. He may go. One move to get by the punter, and Pettis is going to go. No flags. Husky touchdown.
Wobbly boot. Pettis should get a return out of this one. Zone 32. Breaks one tackle. 35. Scoots out to the far side. 40. 45. Down the numbers at the 40. The Rutgers 30. Dante Pettis will take it to the house. Wow.
Pettis will get a shot from the 42. Still running. Breaks a tackle. Midfield. Pettis hits the sideline. Stays in bounds. Pettis. Touchdown. Huskies. 58 yards. Back-breaking play.
Washington, are you kidding me? Oh, baby.
Picked it up inside the 40. Whoa. Pettis. Zoom, touchdown. Washington.
Fire up the Inferno. Dante Pettis.
Going to return it. He gets a nice block from Murphy. Another as he takes the edge. Cutting it back into space for Pettis. Kicker to beat. Trying to get around the edge. Another block nearly. And there it is. The record. 7 punt returns in his career. And Dante Pettis passes Deshaun Jackson in the Pac-12 record book.
Are you kidding me? Touchdown, Washington, Dante Pettis.
Sideline there. Pettis going to try. Pettis got himself free. Watch out. He's got the punter. And one more. Runs by him. To the end zone. Number 8. For number 8.
And my gosh, he's done it again. Dante Pettis takes it to the house. 3rd straight punt return touchdown game. 8 in his career, and now he has tied the NCAA career punt return touchdown record. Unbelievable.
Johnny, will you please come to the stage so we can present this award?
Now, have you ever seen anything as exciting as the punt return? Can I get a hand for that? A punt return. I just want to say that I'm really proud to present this award to Dante because he is truly, I've went from being the best college punt return and kickoff guy in the country to probably being the 3rd or the 4th. But I'm glad you're the leader now because the punt return guys are the guys who bring their best when it matters the most. You can be back and you can be waiting for it and you can drop it and you can be embarrassed in front of the whole world. But when you got nerve of steel and you got daring, you're willing to do whatever it takes to win, whatever is necessary to take your team to the next level, this is what you get. The best man, the baddest man on the planet. Please give a big hand for Dante Pettis, the baddest man on the planet.
Oh man, thank you you guys for having me here. This is my first time to Nebraska, so I mean it's it's been a good time. First off, I'd like to thank God. Without Him, none of this would be possible. Yep. I'd like to thank my family. My mom, my dad, and then my 2 buddies, Blake and Connor. We got Mrs. McBride that came. Thanks for coming, and shout out to Jerry. And yeah, I mean it's been a great time. And like Billy was saying earlier, none of this would be possible without the teammates too. A lot of people think that punt returning is strictly up to the returner, but honestly, a lot of it has to do with the teammates. And if they know that they can, if they know you can do something with the ball, they're going to fight a little harder for you. And so, a lot of this goes to them too. And then, obviously, thank you to people like everybody that set this whole thing up. This has been a really cool experience, hanging out with a lot of legends of this game and people that kind of paved the way for me. So anybody that had something to do with this whole award, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And I look forward to coming back in the future and seeing who else wins this. So, hopefully I'll see you guys in a few years. But, thank you. Thank you so much.